Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about retail promotion. Retail promotion is marketing strategy implemented by retailers to increase sales, attract customers and create brand awareness. These promotion often involve offering discounts, special offers or incentives to entice customers to make a purchase. Retail promotion includes any communication by a retailer that informs, persuades, and reminds the target market about any aspect of the firm. For example, Domino's Pizza. Its approach to retail promotion is largely influenced by its retail positioning strategy and the competitive marketplace. Domino's reinforces its brand in consumers' mind with extensive advertising at various media channels and strengthens it by marketing affiliations with well-known brands such as Coca-Cola. Elements of retail promotion mix: advertising, public relations, personal selling, and sales promotion are the elements of retail promotion. According to Philip Kotler, advertising is any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, goods or services by an identified sponsor. I'm saying advertising is paid form, which means it distinguishes advertising from publicity. A standard message is delivered to the entire audience through newspaper, radio, TV, web, and other mass channels rather than personal contacts. The sponsor name is clearly shown in the advertisement, unlike publicity. Coming to types of advertising. There are three types of advertisements depending on specific objectives. The first one is the informative advertising. It is used heavily when introducing a new product category. In this case, the objective is to build primary demand. Thus, early producers first had to inform consumers of the image quality and convenience benefit of the new product. The next one is the persuasive advertising. It becomes important as competition increases to have a persuasive advertising. Here the company objective is to build selective demand. Once the product is established, companies persuade consumers that its brand offers the best quality for their money. Some persuasive advertising are comparative advertising, in which a company directly or indirectly compares its brand with one or more other brands. Comparative advertising can be used for any product like soft drink, computers, batteries, cars, credit cards, etc. You can see examples of comparative advertising in almost every product category. The third is the reminder advertising. It is important for mature products. It helps to maintain customer relationship and keep consumer thinking about the product. Expensive Pepsi or Coca-Cola television ads primarily build and maintain the brand relationship rather than inform or persuade customer to buy in the short run. There are a number of objectives of advertising. That is to grow short-term sales, to increase customer traffic, to develop or to reinforce a retail image, to inform customer about goods or services the company is offering, or to stimulate demand for private brands, even to ease the job for sales personnel. But there are some of the disadvantages of advertisement. That is, the standardized message lacks flexibility. They do not focus on the needs of individual consumers. Some media require large investment. This may reduce the access of small firms. Media may reach large geographical area, and for retailers this may be wasteful. Media requires a long lead time for placing ads, which reduces the ability to advertise fad items or to react to some current event themes. And some media have a high throwaway rate, which means that circulars may be discarded without being read. There are types of advertising agreement. Retailers may pay their own way or seek cooperative ventures in placing ads. Firms paying their own way have total control and incur all cost. With cooperative ventures, two or more parties share cost and decision making. So there are two types of advertising agreement. The first one is the vertical cooperative advertising agreement, where a manufacturer and a retailer or a wholesaler and a retailer share an ad. Advantages to a retailer are reduced ad cost, assistance in preparing ads, greater market coverage, and less planning time. But the disadvantage to the retailer is less control, flexibility, and distinctiveness. The second one is the horizontal cooperative advertising agreement, where two or more retailers share an ad. This type of agreement is most often used by small non-competing retailers or retailers in a shopping center and franchisees of a firm. The advantages or the disadvantages are similar to those in a vertical agreement, but there are two further benefits of this type of an agreement. That is, the bargaining power of retailer in dealing with the media is increased, and the synergies when multiple retailers work together is also increased. Next in this is advertising decisions. The first step in this is setting the advertising budget. A brand's advertising budget often depends on the product life cycle stage. For example, new products typically need large advertising budgets to build awareness and to gain consumer trial. In contrast, mature brands usually require lower budgets. Market share also impacts the amount of advertising needed. Because building the market or taking market share from competitor require large advertising spending. To maintain current share, also brands in a market with many competitors must be advertised more heavily to be noticed. Undifferentiated brands which closely resemble other brands in the product category require heavy advertising to set them apart. When the product differs greatly from competitors, advertising can be used to point out differences to consumers. Multinational companies like HUL, P&G, Coca-Cola, Cadbury, they have built sophisticated statistical models to determine the relationship between promotional spending and brand sales to help determine the optimal investment across various media to be done. The second step in this is developing advertising strategy. So this strategy consists of two major elements, that is creating advertising message and selecting advertising media. Advertising can succeed only if advertisement gain attention and communicate well with the consumers. The first step in creating effective advertising message is to plan a message strategy, to decide what general message will be communicated to consumers. The purpose of advertising is to get consumers to think about or react to the product or company in a certain way. People will react only if they believe that it will benefit by reacting to that particular product or service. Developing an effective message strategy begins with identifying customer benefits that can be used as advertising appeals. Message strategy statement should be straightforward and must develop a compelling, creative concept that will bring the message strategy to a distinctive and memorable way. These appeals should have three characteristics. That is, they should be meaningful, pointing out benefits that make the product more desirable or interesting to consumer. Secondly, these appeals must be believable. That is, consumer must believe that the product or service will deliver the promised benefit. And the third one is that these appeals should be distinctive. They should tell how the product is better than the competing brand. Now, how to execute that message? The creative team must find the best approach, style, tone, words, format for executing the message. The next step in this is selecting the advertising media. In this, the first step is deciding on reach, frequency and impact of the media selection to achieve advertising objective. Reach is defined as a measure of percentage of people in the target market who are exposed to the ad campaign during a given period of time. And frequency is defined as a measure of how many times the average person in the target market is exposed to that message. The advertiser also decide on desired media impact, the qualitative value of the message exposure through a given medium. For example, for products that need to be demonstrated, messages on television may have more impact than messages on radio because television uses sight and sound both. Products for which consumer provide input on design or features might be better promoted on an interactive website than through direct mailing. The second step in this is choosing among major media types. The company is choosing television, then the advantages is like good mass marketing coverage, low cost per exposure, it combines sight, sound and motion and it appeals to the senses. If the company wants to choose the internet, then the advantage is high selectivity, low cost, interactive capabilities. If the media type is newspaper, then obviously there is a good local market coverage, broad acceptability. The advantage of direct mail is it has high audience selectivity, flexibility, it allows personalization. For magazines, they have high geographic and demographic selectivity, credibility and prestige. And for radio, it's a good local acceptance, high geographic and demographic selectivity and low cost. The third step in this is selecting specific media vehicles. The media planner now must choose the best media vehicle, specific media within each journal media type. If he is choosing a television as media type, then on which channel to post advertisement, that needs to be selected carefully. Media planners must compute the cost per 1,000 persons reached by that particular vehicle. The planners must also consider the cost of producing ads for different media. Whereas newspaper ads, they may be costly. To produce flashy television ads, it can be costly than the radio ads. So the media vehicle should be selected very, very carefully. The fourth step in this is deciding on media timing. The advertiser must also decide how to schedule the advertising over the course of a year. Suppose sales of a product peak is in December and that sale drops in the month of March. So the firm can vary its advertising to follow the seasonal pattern, to oppose the seasonal pattern, or to be with the same all the year, throughout the year. So for example, most retailers, they promote their sales by advertising just before or during the festival season. Now the fourth step in this is advertising evaluation. Advertisers evaluate two types of advertising results: the communication effects, sales and profit effects. Measuring the communication effect of an ad or ad campaign tells whether the ad and media are communicating the ad message well or not. Individual ads can be tested before or after they are run. Before an ad is placed, the advertiser can show it to the customer, ask whether they like it or not, measure the message recall or attitude changes resulting from that ad. After an ad is run, the advertiser can measure how the ad affected consumer recall or product awareness, their preferences, the knowledge about the product or service which they are delivering. To measure the sales and profit effects of advertising is to compare past sales and profits with the past advertising expenditures. The next promotion strategy used by retailers is public relations, which will be discussed in the next video. Thank you.